So today I wanted to talk with you guys about your form when you're doing certain exercises. I know in the first two videos we did some squats and some lunges and different things, so I want to go over form for just a brief moment. So the first thing we're going to do is the squat. So I want you to pay attention to my knees, my ankles, and my posture through my upper body. Okay? So from the side, when you're doing your squats, your goal is to bend your knees down and get your bottom low. Okay? So you're bending down and pushing the hips backward. You want to go till about parallel, and you want to try not to push your knees forward, and you want to try not to be leaning too far forward. So somewhere in the middle is where you want to be, and it'll vary based on how long your legs are and how long your torso is. Okay, so you won't look exactly like me if you have a different body type. But ideally, you want to squat down like you're sitting in a chair or hovering over a public toilet. Your knees are bent, your ankles are bent, and you're leaning forward at the waist a little bit. We're not dropping our posture, so we're keeping a nice strong form to the back. And I tend to hold my arms out just for stability, and then you're coming back up. So the squat looks like this, down, and up. The other thing you want to pay attention to is where your knees are as far as looking at you from the front to back. You don't want your knees knocking together, and you don't want your knees bowing out. Okay? So you kind of want to keep your knees in line. They should be very steady, and they shouldn't be dropping in. Okay? And come back up. If you have questions about that, you can message me on the blog. But ideally, you want to have nice straight lines and come right back up. Okay? Your lunge is the next thing that I want to cover. With lunges, you can kind of vary how you do them. I say you only go as deep as you feel comfortable going into the lunge, especially if you have knee troubles. You don't want to exacerbate any other conditions you may have going on. So from the side, you're going to step forward. It's a lunge because it's a wide stance. Front knee is bent. The heel is up on the back foot. Then you drop the back knee down toward the floor. So you get about a 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle at the back knee, and then you come back up. Okay? That heel stays up in the back. It doesn't drop in or out. It stays pointing straight back. Drop the back knee down, come back up. Now take a look at my upper body. You keep your body up nice and tall with the lunge, so you're just coming straight down and back up. And of course with different exercises I may say add a rotation, but for the basic lunge, your body stays up nice and tall. Good posture from the spine all the way up to the top of the head. Base of the spine to the top of the head. Okay? So that is your lunge form. Jumping exercises, remember you shouldn't be doing a lot of jumping if you have knee trouble. Something you need to discuss with your doctor before you get into a lot of jumping. But ideally you want to land with your knees soft. You never want to land on straight legs. It's not good for the joints. So when you jump, you land on the knees, and it's a very soft landing. It's up. I always tell folks, I really shouldn't hear much. I shouldn't hear. It's very light and soft. Because you're protecting your joints. You're being gentle on them. Okay? Good. Told you the dog likes to be in the room when we're working out. Alright, so those are your jumping exercises. When you're doing your push-up, you have variations. You can do your push-ups from the wall. I'm going to show you on the floor first, and then we'll try them on the wall. So on the floor, if you're a beginner with push-ups, you can start here in table position. When we bend down, you're just bringing your chest to the floor and then back up. You're letting your arms do the work, not your legs. Okay? As you get stronger and you want to progress, you're actually going to shift your weight forward. So right now my knees are at 90 degrees, and now they're coming forward. So you see that it's not 90 degrees anymore. From here, I come down and up. My back is nice and straight. Back, down, and up. I'm not dropping my hips and doing this. Okay? And then I don't have my butt stuck in the air. Okay? So the hips are down. You bring your body down and back up. Okay? Progressing the push-ups from the toes. Same general principle. I tell people, put your feet about hip width apart. Okay? And then you're going to have your feet apart. Come down and up. Stay in a nice straight line. Down and up. Okay? Then when you're doing your crunches, we're going to do one more thing on the floor. When you're doing crunches, You want to make sure you mind the curvature in your lower back. So I tell people rock back, rock forward, find a comfortable position, and then when you feel comfortable, you're probably in neutral spine. You want to place the hands behind the head, but you're not gripping the head or pulling. They're just, your fingertips are just lightly touching the head, okay? Because we don't want to crunch the neck down, and we don't want to pull on the head. If you find yourself pulling on the head, then you can place your fingertips on the forehead, and that'll keep you from pulling. You also want to maintain the space between the chin and the chest and not tuck. So your crunch will look like this, up and down. Now I've talked about the posture through the neck area. I'm going to talk about the posture through the spine from ribs to the pelvis. It's where your abdominals attach, from the ribs down to the pelvis. So you're really just making this portion of your body draw closer together. So you should feel your ribs draw to your pelvis, then come back down. It's not a big motion. You can do a full sit-up, but for a crunch, it's just about 30 degrees worth of motion. Okay? So let's try that. We can do the fingertips here or here. Come up and down, and up and down. Alright? I do have my knees bent here, and as you get more through the workouts, I'll talk about extending the legs and making the exercises more difficult. Alright? Okay, so when we're doing rows, you want to make sure you're keeping good alignment through your spine. So you want to lean forward from the waist, abdominals are nice and tight, chin and chest are lifted. We're not rounding the spine, we're not overextending. We just have a good neutral position. I like to tell people you want to imagine that your back is a ramp and you're going to run something off of that ramp, so it should be nice and straight, good lines. The knees are soft, and then your hips are bent as well. So this is the basic position for doing a row, or a tricep kickback, or a reverse fly. You maintain this posture throughout the exercise, okay? I also do several different stances when I'm doing upper extremity exercise, or upper body exercises. One stance is what I call split stance, where I separate my feet. It gives me more stability, so if I'm doing a certain exercise and the weight's challenging, I don't start to change my form. So if you take a look at my back, when I'm standing this way, it helps me to counterbalance so I don't start leaning back. When I stand in a neutral stance with my feet directly across from each other, sometimes if I'm doing shoulders, I'll find that I start to compensate and lean back. So this just helps me to stay up nice and straight and tall, okay? I want to show you all how to do the wall push-ups. So when you're at the wall, you want to make sure you have a sturdy wall to do your push-ups from. If you're using a doorway, you have to be very careful that no one opens the door and you don't fall through it. So just be careful which wall you choose to do your exercises on. I'm going to have Robert come around to the side so you can also see what I look like from the side. But your hands are going to be about shoulder height. Your feet can be about shoulder width apart. And you're going to bend your elbows, bring your body close to the wall, and then push yourself back up. We're still keeping straight lines. So I don't want to see this, because this isn't really working your arms very much. It's working your back. I want you to work your arms. So bend the elbows, and then push your body straight. The elbows bend, and then you push your body straight again. Okay? So from the side, it looks like this. Bend the elbows, then push your body straight. Bend the elbows, then push your body straight. Of course, the further away your feet are from the wall, the more of your weight is going to go into your arms. And once you get to a point where you're getting pretty low, then you can progress to putting your hands on the bench. Or if you have a chair, put the chair up to the wall so the chair won't scoot away on you. And you place your hands right on the seat of the chair. Same thing. Bend the elbows, push yourself up straight. And a way to make the exercise a little easier, there you are, is to separate your feet so that they're a little bit wider apart. It gives you a better base. So you can separate your feet a little bit, bend the elbows, press away. The only thing moving here is my arms. The rest of my body is a straight line. Okay, so that's the basics. So if you need a peek at this tutorial again, use it as a foundation for how you're doing your exercises. Good form is so very important. It helps you to prevent injuries, and you always want to use safety. Like I said, the jumping exercises are very advanced. So if you can't do the jumping because it hurts or it's uncomfortable, don't worry, I'll give you other options. You shouldn't do something that hurts. So make sure you read the first post on the blog that talks about exercising and how to be safe with your exercise. Alright, thank you. I forgot to tell you one more thing about when you're doing your exercises is how you pick up your weight. You really want to use good form when you pick up your weight. You don't want to just kind of get yourself down there and get them. So I'm going to show you bad form first. Okay, that is not the correct way to get your weights. It's very dangerous, not safe on your back. So now I'm going to show you the correct form. Okay, so here's the correct form. If I had weights sitting on the floor, I would use my squat technique like we learned earlier in the video. So you're going to squat down, pick up the weights, and then stand up. I've been reaching, sometimes I reach over my bars to get to my weights, so I'm leaning. Anytime I lean to get the weights, I always engage my core so that I'm not weak through my spine. So I always engage the core and then try to lift the weights when I'm stable. Okay, that is the last thing on the instructions. Thank you.